Hi, hello, welcome to Spell Day. We're covering a spell every single day of the year. 362 plus 3 from the 5e PHB. The plus 3 are 3 homebrew. We've already covered one, that's the plus 1. And today's spell is Flaming Sphere. Second level Conjuration, casting time of 1 action, range of 60 feet, components for both somatic material, a bit of tallow, a pinch of brimstone, and a dusting of powdered iron. Duration, concentration, up to 1 minute. A 5-foot diameter sphere of fire appears in an unoccupied space of your choice within range and lasts for the duration. Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the sphere must make a dexterity saving throw. The creature takes 2d6 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. As a bonus action, you can move the sphere up to 30 feet. If you ram the sphere into a creature, the creature must make a saving throw against the sphere's damage, and the sphere stops moving this turn. When you move the sphere, you can direct it over barriers up to 5 feet tall and jump it across pits up to 10 feet wide. The sphere ignites flammable objects not being worn or carried, and it sheds bright light in a 20-foot radius and dim light for an additional 20 feet. At higher levels, when you cast this spell using spell slot of 3rd level or higher, damage increases by 1d6 for each slot level above 2nd. The Flaming Zamboni. 2nd level, concentration for a minute, but you get this 2d6 fireball mess that you can move around. Not the worst. Yes, at later levels, things can outmaneuver this, but 30 foot on a bonus action? Go over some terrain? Okay. The big issue with the radius effect is at the end of their turn. Because they start their turn, they can just walk out of it. So, likely, outside of casting this on the first round, the first time you're casting this, you're not going to be getting that much damage from that feature of it, because they can just move. You're likely going to be getting the majority of your damage from the fact this does ramming. So really this is a crowd control spell, because it's at the end of their turn, so this is a hazard they want to avoid. And it's a 3x3 space you're controlling because they have to be right next to it, but 3x3 space of don't go here, not the worst. Especially for a 2nd level spell slot. Whether concentration's worth that or not, Though now we get into stationary targets. So let's say you have an ally who's grappled a creature. Park this right next to them. Someone paralyzed? Park this right next to them. Someone currently prone? Go around, move in, go on top even. If you can get someone stuck, please do. Or if you have multiple of these up, it'll all trigger at the same time, at the end of their turn. Well, yes, an individual spellcaster can have multiple of these up. Getting someone else who can cast this, pretty good. So, namely, good for crowd control of wanting people to avoid this, and if you can combo this with someone being stuck in a location, or if they just have no other place to move to, also really good. Sitting duck, fish in a barrel, that kind of thing. The ramming is the general offensive option, because you can do 2d6, and that's just a bonus action of 2d6, which, if they fail to save, hey, bonus action, potential 2d6, not bad. For over a minute. But the stationary targets I'd like to talk about are, once again, with a lot of the fire spells, structures. Because this also ignites anything not being worn or carried. Also sheds bright light. You can use it as a big torch in a cave. No, we're going back to the village thing. That is a full minute. Any 30-foot area, even with the jumping over gaps, you can set things on fire. 60-foot range. Let's say you're a wizard, you've been snuck up to a castle's walls, cast this on the top of the castle's walls, go onto the inside, you are setting everything behind the battlements on fire. Again, villain in a village, having a field day, just going through, and a peasant as well isn't going to be doing much. Also, if you want to burn fields, but don't want to see if the firebolt's flame actually manages to spread, purposely go through and set every little last bit of it on fire without Firestorm. Firestorm, yes, covers it all instantaneously in that large blanket area. Theoretically, you can make a more efficient spread of setting things on fire with Flaming Sphere, which is 2nd level compared to 7th level. Yes, it'll be over time, but I'm just in some woods, a dry field, in a barn, in a building, cast this, let it roll around. Yes, it's not instantaneous, but the devastation of the... At this point, there really should be a fire department for how easily accessible some of these ignite object spells are. Everything I'm saying about the potential for setting things on fire and the potential for damage, that is probably the one scenario where I would recommend upcasting this, not in the village, but if you do have a target you know will be stuck in place. Like you have a character who's casting Hold Person and they have disadvantage on the save. Go ahead and upcast it. That is just a free... because you can also get, if they're stuck in one place, you can still ram them. So you have that damage immediately on your bonus action and the damage at the end of their turn on saves they're failing or have disadvantage on, depending on how you're holding them in place. Or just having to face. While casting a higher level, having those stacked to d6 on your bonus action and then also at the end of their turn is not bad. Yes, you have to set some things up for that scenario, and if you ask me, this is better for the Scorch Earth, burn everything over time if you have a minute to kill. Actually, weirdly less a combat spell. Again, it's more CC in combat than the straight damage potential output. If you get someone trapped, if you have multiple Flaming Spheres flanking someone, yeah, not bad. 8 out of 10. Ooh, wait, 8 out of 10? I'm thinking NPC-wise in Village, because that Village is really playing it up in my head. Also, the specific scenarios, if you do get someone stuck, it's still acting as a roll of CC, even if it doesn't do that much damage. The concentration kind of hurts it a bit. What else did I rate? 8. 7 out of 10. Going down to 7.